What's going on, everyone? Welcome back. This is a huge update we need to talk about from Google Stadia. But before we get into that, if you are new to the channel, don't forget to get subscribed, turn that bell notification on so you stay up to date for new videos on this channel as well as live streams. And if you could also do me a favor, hit the like button because it does help other people find this video and this channel just like you did. Now, what we did find out were the September Pro games, and we found out some new information about the Marvel's Avengers game and a little extra tidbit about Super Bomberman R, which is coming to Stadia as a pseudo-exclusive, because it's not necessarily an exclusive title coming to Stadia, but there is an exclusive mode, and it kind of garners the first on Stadia aspect of it. So let's just jump right into it. Now, let's talk about Avengers first, because, you know, we kind of named the Stadia initiative off the Avengers namesake and kind of, you know, use that as some of an influence. So obviously I'm excited for this game because, you know, being a comic guy and everything like that. So let's talk about the Avengers and the pre-orders and whether it's coming on Stadia day and date. We got the answer right away. In fact, we already had that answer. So Duncan over at Cloudy with a Chance of Games, he's been digging into a lot of stuff over the last few months since Stadia's been a thing. And he found out through contacting Square Enix that it is coming day and date. But moreover than that, we found out today through the internet, obviously of all things, that not only are we getting a day and a date, but Avengers is coming early to Stadia as well. Now, what we see on screen here is the exclusive digital edition, and I'm just putting this up here because this is not an edition that's coming to Stadia. This is, as far as I'm aware, and according to Square Enix, a PS4 exclusive. Now, this is part of the early access, so I want to drop that in there. The Deluxe Edition is what is going to be available for Stadia users early. Now, the Deluxe Edition does include a little bit of extra in the way of cosmetics and a nameplate, but it does also give you the 3-day early access starting September 1st, which is next Tuesday. So that's good news there if you're interested in picking up Avengers. Not only can you do so on the 4th, which is when it comes out everywhere else, you can also do it a few days early. And this isn't the first time Stadia's been able to enjoy this kind of early access. It happened with F1 a few months back. So this is good to see that it's kind of maintained that continuity with other platforms as well. Now, moving on to that, here's the information regarding the early access to it. Eligible digital editions, as you can see, for Stadia will not be at midnight release. It will be rolling midnight for the other consoles, but PC and Stadia will release at 9 a.m. Pacific time, and that will be next Tuesday. So it's good news there if you're interested in picking it up, and they do mention some pre-order perks here, and here's a little bit of a look at that. So if you're interested in looking at any of these things, and these are like, this is really cool, by the way, because this is the early looks at what the Avengers kind of looked like, at least according to the game's canon itself. So you can see the original, I believe, Mark I Iron Man outfit there. Hulk just looking like he would normally do, like, way back when. Thor's even got the helmet on there, so it looks great. Even Cap has a very old school look as well, so it's good news. Of course, there's going to be a day one patch, but guess what? You won't have to worry about day one patch because you don't have to worry about downloads ever. So console users will have to have a near 20 gigabyte day one patch. So if you ever need a reason to go over to Stadia, this is it. Now, Super Bomberman R. This is a game that was announced at the last Connect, and our good friend John Scar, who is one of the authors over at Best Buy for the Canadian side of Best Buy. He does the gaming, blogging stuff over there. He's a friend of the channel. He posted this information here on the Stadia subreddit about Super Bomberman R, and that he actually announced this before we got the official announcement from our friends over at Google Stadia, but he's kind of giving us an idea that Super Bomberman R is going to be pro here in September, and we'll get into the rest of the pro games here because this was confirmed. But our good friend Eddie Player One, was the only one to guess Super Bomberman R coming in September as a pro title. Now, what was really cool is a press release kind of noted what we can expect in terms of how long this will be available for pro members, and kind of like Crata had a little extra to it when you redeemed it with pro, as will Bomberman R. So with Super Bomberman, you will have the ability to get an additional premium edition bundle at no cost if you are a pro member, and it will be in the store at the beginning of September all the way into the beginning of December is when you can absolutely claim this game as a part of Stadia Pro. Now, the big reason why this is a big deal is because there's two big things, obviously. Super Bomberman R is going to be bringing a 64-person Battle Royale mode to it, which is exclusive to Stadia, and that's the exclusive thing, making it kind of like a first on Stadia title, you know, like a pseudo way. That's a big deal because, you know, it's going to be able to kind of give us another Battle Royale game, of course. But more importantly than that, crowd play. It's, as far as we know, this will be the debut of crowd play unless they decide to just, like, open the floodgates and let everything else work. So As far as we know, Super Bomberman R Online will have crowd play at launch until we're told otherwise. That's what I'm going with. So that's awesome news right there. Now, the big old blog. This week on Stadia blog, 6 more free games coming to us in September. We already talked about one. We already talked about Super Bomberman R. Gunsport is finally coming. Finally coming, and I think it's probably the first month I haven't guessed Gunsport in some time. And of course, it's going to be the month that shows up. It shouldn't be a surprise to anyone, though, because Gunsport was technically funded by Google Stadia. I don't know if it's going to be published by Stadia Games and Entertainment, but without Stadia, Gunsport would not be existing anymore, because they literally said that Stadia's funding helped continue the development of this game. Now, the next 2 games were already announced during the last Connect. Hitman Season 1 and then Hello Neighbor are coming to Stadia Pro as free. We knew that. Now, here's what we didn't know. Ember, which is still in early access on Stadia. I believe you can pick it up for $14.99 or $19.99, one of the two. Still an early access game, is now a part of Pro. Not sure how I feel about that, because it has nothing to do with the actual game itself, but the fact that it's in early access, and I know some people put money on it, and they may be feeling miffed of that because it's an early access title. They feel like they're helping fund the development of it. So I can see why people might be upset with that. But if you want to try out Ember but you don't want to pay for it, here's your chance to do so. And I just mentioned this yesterday when I was streaming PGA, or I was doing my little open mic, that don't spend money on Last Light because it's been on Game Pass. It has a high chance of showing up on Pro sometime. And I didn't think it'd literally be announced the next day. I really didn't. I really didn't think that Last Light would already be showing up. So if you've been a Pro member since the very beginning, you now have all the Metro Light all the Metro games. You have all of the SteamWorld games. You have almost all the Tomb Raider games. So you're really getting a very good bang for your buck. And versus Game Pass, you're going to lose those games eventually. In fact, I think the Metro games, if they haven't disappeared, they're on their way out. Stadia Pro, as long as you're a Pro member, you're going to always have access to them, which is awesome stuff right there. So those are the Pro games coming. First on Stadia would be the Super Bomberman R and, of course, Gunsport. And then we got some new deals. But before we get there, to remind us that Windbound comes out on Friday. You do have access for the first 2 weeks to get the pre-order edition that other consoles are getting. So if you do pick up Windbound between the 28th and the 11th of September, you will have access to all of the DLC that would come with a pre-order if you're on another console. So it's really cool that you get this window where if you don't want to pre-order it, but maybe you're taking like a week and you're like, you know what, let's get it now. And you're still going to get all those bonuses, which is really cool. And in fact, I'd take that over actual pre-order access any day, personally. Without needing to worry about downloads or updates, you don't need to worry about pre-ordering, in my opinion. Now, they do go over the sales again, which is to be expected, but they do add another sale in there. We finally got a sale on a racing game of all things. So F1 is finally on sale, and it's a pretty steep discount. I would say it's a pretty good discount. I believe the Schumacher edition for F1 is about $69.99 retail. So it's down to $45.49. And then if you just want to pick up the base version of the game, it's $38.99. So that's for Pro members. If you are not a Pro member, you do have access to another sale, but it's not as steep, obviously. So I want to know what your guys' thoughts on this entire update was, because we got some new Avengers information. We got all the Pro games being announced. We got a couple new sales. In fact, Windbound's coming out. So what are you most excited for? What game on the Pro lineup excites you? Or does that not excite you? Are you ready to pick up Avengers on the first possible day you can? Let me know in the comment section down below. If you are new to the channel, again, don't forget to get subscribed, turn the bell notification on, like this video, share this video with a friend who is still on the fence and is like, you know what? Super Bomberman R looks really cool. Avengers, without even worrying about a day one patch, even better. All right, let's do it, okay? But until next time, I want to thank you again, as always, for your support, and party on.